How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Salvage Auto Rebuilds, where yet again it is very early in the morning. It's only like 24 minutes past 6. Just turned over to 25 minutes, but okay, anyway. So guys, we are still at home and we haven't left yet because things are going to be a little bit different today. So yeah, what happened last night is Uncle Bill came past to check up on the BMW E36, and he actually had a package delivered at the shop as well, which we need to try and take care of today for him. So yeah, what this package is, just to show you guys, we've got the Lada sedan over here at the house this morning because Uncle Bill took the day off because he needs me to do some work to this little Lada. And yeah, this car is actually going to be involved with this package of things that we need to get sorted today for Uncle Bill. So yeah, we're going to be using this car because he gave me a lift back to the house. And yeah, guys, there's been quite a lot of things happening off camera back at the shop. So yeah, I think I'll have to probably get over there so that I can show you guys exactly what is going on. So we are currently busy working on Uncle Bill's BMW E36 still. So today we're going to be painting the clear coat. So I think the base coat has finally cured enough so that we can go ahead and get the clear coat painted on it. So we're trying to do a relatively decent job on that car. Might as well turn on the headlights as well. So yeah, Uncle Bill has got those fancy headlights in this car. So yeah, guys, he's unfortunately not very happy with this car because yeah, the thing is a little bit underpowered. So I guess we never really did a proper job in fixing up this engine. But so far it has been very reliable and very fuel economical. So there's no complaints about that from Uncle Bill at least. And yeah, just driving it down the road, it's actually not too bad. It's okay. I mean, it's only got a little 1.5 liter inline 4 engine in it, and it's pretty much bone stock. And as I mentioned, we never really dug into this engine. Yeah, dug. Yeah, I think dug is the right word. We never really, opened the engine up and took a look on the inside what's going on with this motor. So I think that is something we are gonna probably do with this engine here pretty soon. But yeah, fortunately this engine is not going to be staying in this car. So yeah, I might have actually given away a little bit too much information with regards to what this package is for Uncle Bill's car. And you guys may have guessed it by now, it is a brand new engine. So yes, here we are over at the shop, and the sun is about to creep up from behind the mountains back there. Alright, let's turn off the headlights and get the ignition switched off, and let's not forget the handbrake. Alright, but yes, overall in general, this car is still doing very well, and Uncle Bill has been happy with it. It's just not a BMW anymore, and that is kind of why we are building a BMW for him. And as I said, this engine is going to be taken out, and we are going to be installing a engine that Uncle Bill managed to find on the internet for, I think, $1,000, I think he said. So this thing has been freshly rebuilt, so everything is pretty much brand new on it. So we are going to be installing this engine hopefully today for him in the little Lada over there. But we've also got quite a lot of other stuff happening today. So yeah, let's just bring our toolbox out. And yeah, why is that thing? I don't know why this fell out again. Okay, well, you know what? Let's not question it, but okay. So we're going to push our little tool trolley out here. And I'll show you guys in a second what is also happening. Okay, so we can close up the office for now. So as you can see, we moved the BMW E36. Holy crap, this trailer actually moved closer to the BMW, which is not great. Okay, let's just put this thing more or less over there again. Hopefully the wind doesn't sweep it again. So yeah, we moved the BMW E36 over here. So I'm going to be painting the clear coat actually over here, because we've got all of the parts sorted out under the carport here. You guys know how bad the weather has been these past couple of days, or past couple of episodes really. So yeah, I kind of just sorted all of the parts under here, and I think it'll be fine even if it started raining. But we do, however, need to get this car painted and also, you know, clear coat it really and start putting it together. So that is my main goal for today, is to try and sort out Uncle Bill's BMW with a paint job, and we're going to also see if we can start putting it together. I'm going to have to work very carefully. So yeah, Uncle Bill wants the 1.5 liter engine in that little Lada because he's thinking of selling the car, or he might be keeping it as a backup. I'm not too sure what his plans are, but yeah, he just definitely wants his BMW. And over here, under our newly built roof or carport, we've got ourselves the Lada station wagon. So guys, I've also made a couple of decisions on this car and what I'm going to do with it. So first of all, you can see, yeah, we've got some suspension parts, and you'll notice something over here. We've got some 5-lug hubs. So yeah, we're going to be doing a 5-lug hub conversion on this car. And that way, we are going to be able to mount the wheels we've got over here. So these are the ones from our trailer. I don't know if you guys noticed on the trailer, we've got the other set of wheels that we had on our little Neva. So yeah, those actually seem to work quite well on the trailer as well. They are sticking out a little bit too far, but I think it's fine. It is, I mean, it's a car trailer at the end of the day. So it doesn't have to look perfect. It just needs to get the job done. So that is where those wheels are going to live. And also the reason why I'm doing this is these wheels are already equipped with tires that are a little bit more fitting for this car. So we'll see how that's going to work out. I don't know if these are the lowest profile tires you can get, but we'll get some new tires if we have to, because I think those will actually look pretty good on this car once we can get them cleaned up and de-rusted, and also get some hubcaps for them. I think that'll look pretty nifty on this little car. And we also got some adjustable coilovers for the front and rear that's going to be going onto this car. So yeah, guys, I took quite a little bit of time going through each and every part. We stripped off the old suspension parts from the crossmember that came off the car. Turns out there was not a whole lot of parts salvageable on the front suspension. You can see this control arm is the old one. This is an old hub carrier. We've got some old, I think the old brake caliper. No, I actually replaced both brake calipers. But yeah, we had to replace pretty much everything else. There's an old shock absorber, for example. So yeah, there were definitely some parts that were usable, but also at the end of the day, yeah, not a whole lot of parts. Alright, so let's get our toolbox opened up. I quickly want to unbox the engine and see what we are working with here for Uncle Bill on his little Lada today. Okay, let's get this off of here. Alright, we'll just put this down right over there. Alright, so this is the brand new, or new to us, engine, or new to Uncle Bill rather. So yeah, this is also a 1.5 liter. It's just in way better condition than Uncle Bill's engine is. I wonder if this comes with oil. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so we don't have any oil available. I might have to go and grab some oil when we do install this thing. So I think that is what we're going to do. And I don't know if you guys gathered it already, but yeah, the old engine for that car is going to be going into this car over here. So today my plan is to install that engine and see if we can get it at least fired up. We don't have the exhaust for our sedan, or not for our sedan, for our station wagon yet. But I think it's actually the same one as this. So I might go and pick up another exhaust if we do get to that today. But as I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I want to take care of. And it's going to keep me quite busy actually. Alright, let's get this engine removed. We can probably just put this in the back of the truck over here for now. That's the fuel line. Or, you know, let's put it on the floor. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so let's get the bolts off on the gearbox as well. Alright, yeah, I definitely chose to give myself a lot of work on a Saturday, you know. But it's fine. It's part of the job, and that's what we need to do. Okay, alternator bolt. Starter bolt. Okay, let's just take these out first, and then once we get this loosened up, I think the engine should actually be able to come out. Come on, can we just make sure? What the heck? Is it still tight? Alright, so yeah, there we go. Alright, I've got it. Okay, so there's the engine for our Lada station wagon. I think this is going to work pretty well for now. So the plans are we are going to be dropping this in the engine bay, getting it buttoned up. We don't even have a gearbox yet, so I don't think this car is going to be running today. So unless if I also go and grab a gearbox from Lewis parts store. But what am I trying to do? Because, yeah, we need to mount the suspension first. Okay, so it looks like this thing is just going to have to stick around. We are going to have to take this header off. I noticed Uncle Bill's new engine didn't come with a header. Alright, so this header isn't the greatest. Okay, so we might have to get a new header for Uncle Bill's car then. But okay, for now, I'm just going to pop this engine onto here. And just bolt it down so it doesn't go anywhere. Alright, let's quickly grab Uncle Bill's new engine. Or new to him engine, I guess. We're going to drop it in over here. And just going to bolt it down. Alright, get all of these cables zipped down. Alright, just like that. Okay, this side we're going to grab the same fuel line. I wonder if the fuel line that came off of the station wagon is actually better condition. Let's take this with us in case it is. Then we'll rather install the one we took off the little station wagon here. Alright, let's see. Yeah, this one looks a little bit better. Okay, let's go and install this on Uncle Bill's car rather. Alrighty, so bring this over here. And just got to figure out where exactly I'm going to put this. I think that should do the trick. Okay, zip that down, and now just got to make sure we tighten all of these gearbox bolts up again. Okay, so everything on this side looks good. Okay, let me just double check my work on this side. I think I've got it all. Yeah, alternator belt. Well, bolt, not belt. There's the belt. Okay. Always a good thing to check that anyway. Okay, so that is sorted. Now we can get the old header installed, which will probably come off again once we can figure out what we're going to do for our station wagon. Okay, so zip that up over there and over there. Okay, so now we need to check the coolant and also go and fetch some oil from the shop across the road. Alright, so let's go and do this real quick. Alrighty, so here we are, and we've got ourselves some oil that we can go ahead and put into this engine. I don't know how much coolant we lost, so we are going to be checking the coolant as well. I think it might actually be a little bit low. Alright, so it's not too bad. And come on, let me just grab hold of the dipstick again. There we go, it's nice and empty, so we're gonna just put in 2 bottles of oil. Oh, come on, there we go. Right, let's fill this thing up with some oil real quick, and then I think we're going to be ready to fire it up and just see how it runs now. I think it'll run a little bit better and definitely have a little bit more power. Although we've got to remember this is only a 1.5 liter, so it's not going to be winning any drag races at all. Right, just get it nice and filled up over there. Okay, grab the other bottle. Okay, let's chuck this down as well. I think 2 bottles of oil should do the trick. And yeah, this little car has actually turned out pretty well. I'm actually very impressed to see that it's actually been doing so well. And that Uncle Bill managed to drive it all this time without any issues at all. Alright, come on. Is this the slow process of filling the engine with oil? Okay, well, there we go. That seems to be done now. Alright, let's put the cap on. I'm quite confident the oil level is correct, but I'm just going to go ahead and check it anyway. Oh, come on, let me just grab it. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, let's get some coolant. Alright, we've got a couple of bottles here. I've got no idea which ones are full and which ones are half, so we're just going to have to wing it and see if we need any more coolant. I'll keep adding coolant until we've got this radiator nice and full. Okay, so let's check this out. I think it shouldn't take that much. Okay, that bottle is empty. How much do we need? Can't really see it yet, so I think we'll add a little bit more anyway. I wonder if it's better if I do it from this side. Yeah, let's try it from here. Right, pour that into the radiator. Right, let's keep going until this thing is nice and full to the brim. Alright, any second now. It wasn't that low. Alright, well, it's still taking coolant. A little bit worrying that it's actually taking so much coolant, but I think we are close. Any second now, come on. There we go. Alright, that's perfect. Okay, and just put a radiator cap back on that. And let's quickly see if this thing actually fires up. Hope it does. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of a time for the fuel to reach the carburetor, but I think that is actually pretty good. Yeah, it sounds a little bit more healthy. Okay, well, that is actually pretty well done. So yeah, nice and easy, real quick, not really any issues. So we'll see. I'll maybe just put that over there. I don't know if I'm going to get to it today, but I guess we'll figure it out. Alright, let's just chuck this in the back of the truck. We'll go and dispose of this a little bit later on. Alright, just like that, guys. So now, what I think we need to start with, first of all, is getting into some proper work. And that is getting the spray paint gun and the compressor out here. Alright, because we are going to be laying down some clear coat on Uncle Bill's BMW. Okay, so let's get our spray gun. I think it's still in the toolbox here. There it is. Okay. Alright, let's open this up. And the clear coat is inside. Now, I've got no idea how many of these cans we're going to need. So I actually ordered quite a few of these. And hopefully we will make it without any issues. So guys, let's have a look and see if we can get this thing primed up today. And hopefully we're going to cover it nicely over here. Starting at the roof. Yeah, it's definitely going to need quite a bit of polish. But you know what? It's part of the job. And our air compressor is probably going to be starting a few times because it needs to keep the air going there for us. Alright, well, let's just continue with this. I gotta make sure I get into all of those nooks and crannies. There's another thing that I actually forgot to mention, guys. So, for those of you who remember, in the last episode, we actually figured out that the fenders were actually cut at some point. So I had to replace those. So I already got brand new fenders from Lewis. Cost me quite a pretty penny though. But yeah, we've got some new fenders on this car at the front. And I think it just looks a little bit better. And that way, when we mount the wheels, they won't look too small. Because our arches were actually cut so badly that I think the previous owners had something to do with the fenders. And they probably had oversized wheels or something on this car at some point. And it just looked absolutely terrible. Seeing as we are trying to do a nice clean build here for Uncle Bill. And want to try and make this thing look as good as it can. Alright, yeah, I actually put the spoiler on over here already, but it doesn't seem to be a problem with the clear coat. Alright, that looks pretty decent. Okay, did we miss anything on this bumper? No, I think that's pretty good. Alright, let's just keep going at this. There goes the air compressor again. Well, we'll probably start getting used to it, and maybe one of these days we won't even notice it. But who am I kidding? That is actually very noticeable. It's actually very loud. Alright, I still got to do this roof. Should have actually done the roof first, because now there's the slight possibility of touching the paint, you know, on the side of the car. But I guess it is what it is. Alright, well, we'll just keep at it and get this thing clear coated. Might have to open the doors and check on the inside all the door jambs and such. Alright. I actually wonder how long this clear coat would actually take to dry properly so that you can actually start polishing it. But I don't want to take any shortcuts here. So we'll just give it some decent amount of time before we even think about touching the the car with a polishing disc, and we are out of clear coat. Okay, so we are definitely using a whole lot more clear coat than we did with paint, because I think the car was actually mostly painted that color. So this is nice and empty now. We can just drop it over there. Okay, let's go ahead and grab another one of these over here. Alrighty, let's bring it over here. Alright, pop it into the spray gun. Yeah, it's a little bit finicky, but once you manage to get it going, it actually goes in pretty easily. Might help if we have the right angle, you know. That also is a very important factor here. Alright, so where were we? We were back here. Alright, I think we'll just continue from this quarter panel. I still have to... Oh, I nearly forgot about the rocker panel, or the side skirt, actually. Yeah, that is pretty much what it is. The side skirt that we mounted. Okay, let's get this thing painted up. There goes the compressor again. Yeah, that thing is super loud. No, I'm not complaining. It's actually making our job much easier than painting up a whole car. I mean, imagine if I had to do this with rattle cans, which I actually did with Uncle Bill's Lada that he's currently driving. We actually painted that whole car with rattle cans. I mean, it was quite a bit of a chore, but we managed to get it done in the end. Right, if it starts raining, I'm gonna have to haul some parts out from under this carport and get it, get the car pushed under there. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Although it does look a little bit cloudy though. Alright, now before we call it done, I'm going to open the doors. And we also missed a little bit over here. I need to go over this thing with a fine-tooth comb at the end of the day. Alright, let's get in here. We also need to paint this B pillar over there. And there might be some missed parts on the inside of the door jambs here. Let's just clear it all up. Open that door as well. We'll do it from this side. Yeah, tiny bit of crevices we missed over there. Also got to check the inside of the doors. Might have to open the hood and just check under the hood as well. Alright, but I think it doesn't look too bad. Let's come under here. Okay, not too shabby. Alright, let's just check this end of the door. Might get some overspray on the trailer, but I don't really care about the trailer that much. Doesn't really bother me if it gets a little bit of overspray on, especially clear coat. Wouldn't make a difference. Alright, but there I go. I think that is it, guys. It doesn't look too bad. Alright, let's just check it out. You know, I'll only probably see some imperfections if I'm not looking for it, because now I'm looking for it and I didn't see anything, so I think it's good enough. Let's pop the hood real quick. Just see if we covered up everything nicely over here. Alright, so you guys might be wondering what's happening with the engine in this car. So, yeah, Uncle Bill said that apparently the guy he bought the car off of had a engine fitted in this car, which has been recently redone or refurbished as well. So we're not going to worry about working on the engine yet for Uncle Bill. He said if he runs into troubles later on, we'll dive into it for him and just fix it up. But for the moment, yeah, he just wants to start using this car. So it's our job just to make it look good, which I think we did a pretty good job so far. It actually looks relatively decent already. And yeah, let's just get this trunk closed up again. We can probably leave the doors open. Let's just double check on the mirrors here. We sprayed it up underneath here. Pretty good. I think that looks good. Yeah, I think we are fine. Alright, well, I'm sure you guys will also let me know in the comment section if you see any spots that I may have missed. So yeah, I will definitely be keeping an eye out on the comment section for any news on the condition of the paint job at the moment. So yeah, there we go. I think that looks pretty good, guys. Let's get this spray gun emptied out. We're just going to take this cap off and quickly get this sorted out. And is that... Wait a second. What is this? Alright, let me just hear who this is. Alright guys, so there we go. I just got off the phone with a customer, or, well, not yet a customer, but a potentially new customer of ours. So they've got a vehicle that needs pretty much full restoration like we did for Uncle Bill's intern. So they haven't disclosed their name just yet, but I guess we'll do that if they will allow it. Uncle Bill's BMW is looking pretty decent here. So yeah, I've got no idea what car they want to bring over here for us to work on next. But I think what I'm going to do now is, since we are waiting for the paint to cure a little bit more on that BMW, we are going to put the suspension together of this car so that we can actually get the engine mounted and see how far we can get. So I still need to weld the new roof on as well. Let's maybe do this first. I think this will be great because then at least we can call this done. Alright, so I've got it mocked up more or less over there. That looks good, if we can call it good. Okay. So yeah, this is a brand new roof that I ordered from Little Lewis's store. And he actually didn't have it in stock, so I had to wait about a day for this thing. But there we go. Just gotta weld it up. Alright, just make sure we actually weld it properly in the right spots. But yeah, we still need to do a whole lot of work to this bodywork before we can actually even consider doing a paint job on this car. But okay, that was nice and easy. It went on a lot easier than it came off. And as you can see, I also managed to replace the rear glass over here. So we did find that as well. And that is looking pretty decent now. The old tailgate is over there. So we're just going to be transferring all of the old stuff over. I already did the headliner and the rear view mirror because that was kind of hard to keep around the yard, and I decided when I got the roof I might as well just go ahead and do it. But it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, nothing special. But yeah, there we go. So that is back in place. Okay, so now let's grab some tools. We are going to need the wrench, the screwdriver, and the pry tool. Okay, alright, let's just bring this over here real quick. Alright, not really the pry tool as much, but yeah, you never know. We might be missing something. So I think let's start with rear suspension. Okay, so what I did with the rear suspension is I checked the differential. I took it off. Differential is still fine, so we can still use it for quite some time in this car. And it'll last us very long. And even the next owner, if we go ahead and sell this car, they'll be able to drive this car for quite some time without any issues. So let's start by getting our brand new hubs installed here. Right, just zip that down. Okay, this is our other side hub. Looking decent. Okay, let's get this onto here. Let's do the other one. Yeah, the rear suspension on these are pretty simple to work on. It's very straightforward. It's actually exactly the same as Uncle Bill's car's suspension. So nothing tricky, nothing, out of the ordinary. Alright, so let's get some new brake pads into these calipers. I think that is the old caliper and this is the new one. Okay, so that has still got a decent brake hose, which I checked. And actually the brake hose that came off of the other caliper, it was still good, so we're just going to go ahead and reuse it. Okay, let's get that onto there, and yeah, that one is still nice and tight. Okay, alright, so obviously this is the left-hand side. Okay, let's grab this one for this side. Alright, looking pretty good. So now, in order to install the rear suspension, we need to mount a couple of these arms, which I'm actually looking forward to. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work so well with the car up on this lift. So this one, I know it's a little bit tricky getting this into position, but I think we'll manage. We just got to fiddle around a little bit under there. Now, with the car up on this lift, I might have a little bit of a challenge getting all of these things mounted. So we'll see how far we can go. And I might even have to mount some of these a little bit later on. I don't know. We'll see. Oof, that is a tight fit over there, but we've got it in. Okay, well, if it all goes in, it's great. Okay, this one is also a little bit concerning, but I think we'll get it. All right, let's just tighten it up over there. Okay, pretty good. Okay, this is the rear one. The longer one that goes right here at the back. Alright, so that goes over there. Alright, let's grab the axle itself. Now, I might have a problem with the handbrake cable here, but we'll see. If this is really an issue, I'll just go ahead and remove the handbrake cable, but no, it got in. So that is pretty fine. Looking pretty good. Alright, so now just got to make sure we tighten down all of the bolts over here. We don't have our brake line in yet, so we can't do that. Okay, but we'll do this. Okay, I think that is everything. So far looking decent. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the shock absorbers. Alright, so this is the one shock absorber that came out that was still good. So we'll go ahead and mount that back onto the car. Zip it down there as well, and then same with this one. This is just a brand new one that I bought. Okay, so let's get this onto here. Alright, looking good so far. Whoa, I just walked into the control box there, but it's fine. Okay, now we can probably also get this mounted. Let's maybe start with this. Yeah, we've got our brake master cylinder. Okay, get that back into there and just bolt it down. Okay, so we do need to add brake fluid to it. And luckily I do have got a bottle of brake fluid. Okay, so we can go ahead and zip this down. Okay, let's come back here. We'll just tighten up these soft brake lines over here. It looks good. Alright, I just keep double checking myself because you never know if I skip something. So I think we're good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, next up for the rear suspension, I think let's do the drive shaft next. Although we don't have a transmission yet, we can actually get this mounted. Oh, come on. Just get in there. Alright, just bolt it down. Whoa, that was bad. I nearly freaking bumped the car off the lift. But okay. Yeah, it's this drawer. Okay, let's get our spring compressors. Okay, so this can go in just over there. And this one is going to go on the opposite side. Now, I'm doubtful I'm going to be able to mount the wheels, so I'm going to have to lower this thing down onto the ground and lift it up with the floor jack somehow and try and sort it out that way. But okay, next up, let's get this front suspension put together. So, yeah, let's start with whatever comes. Not going to be doing this in any specific order. Come on, just bolt down. Alright. Alright, if we get it. Yeah, I think we've got it. This one goes onto there. Okay. Looking pretty decent so far. Okay, not too shabby for some used parts, the ones that we took off. Alright, so this can go on. That's our shock absorber. Yeah, and another nice thing about these cars are the fact that you can pretty much take the whole front suspension off the car and just assemble it or disassemble it when it's removed from the car. Like the other vehicle we worked on, we had to remove the upper control arms separately and all of that jazz. So it was a little bit more, how can we call it? Yeah, something we had to think more carefully about. Okay. All right, so there we go. That is that. Let's get the steering rack on here. Okay, so this one, I think it's only got 2 bolts. Yeah, that is correct. Okay, just the 2 nuts, really. Okay. Get our not torsion, our tie rod. That's our tie rod. Get that onto there. This one onto here. Alright, happy days. We are definitely getting there. So pretty soon this car will be able to stand on its own four wheels again. Then we can actually open the lift again. Alright, let's see. Okay, and zip that up. Alright, now we can get these installed as well. Alright, our adjustable coilovers. And then we've got brake calipers that needs brake pads. Okay, let's get these into here real quick. Get this all sorted out. Alright, brake hose goes onto there, and we've got a brake hose for this one over here. Alright, and zip that down. Front left, which will be driver side. Okay, let's just put it upright. Okay, that goes onto there. And onto there. Okay. So put this one onto here. Alright, so I think that is it. We are going to need this again. Okay, so let's get this cross member in under the car here again. And we'll just bolt up these 4 bolts under here. Right over there. And on this side, the same story. And then let's not forget our brake hoses. Over there. And over there. Okay, so that is now front suspension in. So I think we are good to proceed with the rest of the stuff we can install. I actually need to put this parcel shelf back here because there's nothing wrong with it. We've also got a new gas tank, but I did want to take this over to the gas station actually first. Yeah, let me just take it off again. Alright, so we'll go and fill that up with some gasoline, and then we'll bring it back. Alright, so chances are we might be able to fire this car up today. I don't know. Might not have it driving just yet, but it would be great if we can even get it to that point. Alright, so radiator can go in. Alright, zip it down. And zip it down. So I already got the battery wires back in there, so those are good. Alright, so let's grab the old engine. Now, I don't think I'm going to be rebuilding this engine just yet. We're going to see how it runs. We still need to get the header and the exhaust for this as well in order for it to run as it's supposed to. And we need the transmission. And, yeah, I don't know. That's probably everything that we will need to get this thing running again. We'll see. I've got the old fuel line here that came off Uncle Bill's car. Let's just go ahead and slap this into here. Okay, and zip that down. Okay, so let me just check on the bolts over here. Did we get everything? Okay, ground cable and alternator cable. Okay, everything seems to be buttoned up. Okay, anything else that we need to do? Suppose I can also get the old trailer hitch fitted here. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, and now I need to try and see if I can get some wheels on this car, which is going to be probably a little bit tricky. We can also get our trunk hatch. Yeah, that's what it's called. Our trunk hatch back on. Oh, that is going to fall down on my head. Okay, well, it's okay. I'll just hold it up for now. Right, there we go. All closed up. Alright, now I'm doubtful this is going to work. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a little bit creative with this. I wonder if I'm going to be able to push it. If it's going to slide on the lift a little bit forward. Yeah, that might work. Whoa, let's not have it fall down on us here. Okay, now can we get the front wheels on? Should be able to do this. Yeah, that actually looks pretty decent. Well, it doesn't look decent, but it looks like it'll work. We can call it that at least. Okay, get this into here. Well, not really into, but yeah, I suppose you can call it into, because you're putting it into the wheel well. There we go. That looks pretty decent. I don't know if these wheels are really going to suit the car, but I think these are the ones that we do have that is the most suitable at the moment. Right, now I need to push it back again. Opa, come on. There we go. Alright, that should do. Let's get our rear wheels on. Okay. And now I'm not following the start pattern. But you know what? I think it'll be fine. Alright, let's put this one onto here. Zip it down. And that is the last wheel mounted. Okay, so I think we are good to push this thing off the lift. I don't think I'm going to be able to start it up and drive it off anytime soon. So I'm just going to have to do it like this. Okay. Yep, push it, push it. Oh, crap. Is it running away? Run away car. There we go. All right, stopped it. It's fine. It's fine. All right, so I still need to get the gas tank mounted. So I think let's maybe go ahead and do this real quick. Need to go and fill this up with some fresh gasoline. So the old gasoline in the other tank was actually bad. It smelled terrible. So yeah, I think it was better just to dispose of it in the correct manner, which I did. And yeah, got rid of the old gas tank, and now we've got a brand new one. And I'm just going to have to fill it up with some gasoline. And hopefully we're going to be able to turn the key and start this thing up, guys. I mean, we do know that we've got some oil in the engine because we just drove the car all the way from the house earlier today. And that is probably nice and full. I think it'll take a little bit more fuel, but it's full enough for now. Alright, let's take this back over here. Alrighty, let's see. Actually noticed something on the roof. What is that? Is that... Oh, I think the contractor forgot some boxes on the roof there, guys, because he was on top of there putting the sheets on and stuff like that. So he forgot some of his materials there. I might have to let him know that it's still on the roof. Alright, the gas tank is in. Alright, let's get under here. Alright, now bolt it down, okay. Alright, yeah, we can probably just leave the wrench there. So now, what are we missing? Well, we are missing quite a few things, but... okay, I don't think I need to get in for this. Let's just turn the key and see if it fires up. Obviously it won't, because I don't have a battery in. Who am I kidding? Alright, well, luckily we do have batteries. I think... yeah, I actually moved them onto the shelf here. I think this one at the back is a little bit better. So we'll grab this battery. I think actually this is the one that came off the car, so it's fine. It can go back in. Alright, let's try this again from here. Alright, well, so she fired up. It is very loud because we don't have an exhaust, but I think if we mounted the transmission, exhaust header, and a muffler, and this thing would be actually drivable. Can we actually... yeah, I don't want to... well, it actually sounds kind of mean without the exhaust. But okay, let's go ahead and just turn it off. We didn't add any coolant yet, so I think that's probably the next step for this car. Yeah, because it's a brand new radiator, and I just nearly lost the freaking cap over there. Alright, so as I said, it's a brand new radiator. We haven't added any coolant yet, and we haven't run the car at least too long, so it should still be fine to add coolant now. Alright, so let me do this real quick, and then once this is done, well, who am I kidding? This bottle is done. Alright, let's get some more coolant and fill it up, and when it's done, guys, I'm going to see if I can head over to Lewis's store maybe and pick up the transmission and the exhaust and the header. Might have to take a drive over there with the pickup truck to get everything back to our shop. But let me do this real quick, and then we will go and sort that all out. Alrighty, so I think that is it, guys. So it's a little bit frustrating because I had to literally take each and every bottle that I had in the shop to get this radiator filled up, but that is now done. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to drive this car yet today, so I think what we'll do is, I see we are running a little bit out of time, and I still wanted to do quite a bit of work to Uncle Bill's BMW, so let's just check if we can actually continue with this, putting this thing back together. Yeah, the paint is actually dry to the touch, and what in the freaking hell? Yeah, this freaking trailer is going to cause damage to this car before we even, start putting it together. Let me just see if it's fine. Yeah, it doesn't look like the trailer touched it, but okay. You never know, guys. But alright, so let's start with this. I don't know if I'm going to need the pry tool. We might actually be fine without the pry tool, and this can actually be returned to the toolbox rather. You're just kind of letting stuff lay around, which isn't great. Okay, so let's put that in there. We'll close up all of the drawers, and I think I'll sort this out a bit later. Okay. Alright, so let's get started on this car. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to mount the glass first and all the window winders, and then we'll start with the interior. So I have already done a little bit of work off camera. As you can see, we've got our window lifters replaced. So yeah, hopefully this is going to go a little bit easier in mounting everything to the car. Okay, so there we go. And I do know there's a screw over there. Okay, so that is good. Yeah, I've been practicing this a little bit, so I've got everything pretty much figured out with this car now. Alright, it's like living in an old house. You just know how to kick the old back door to get it open, you know. Alright, there we go. Let's get under there for that one. Alright, pretty good. Alright, so the quarter windows, these ones, they just pop in. Which side is this now? Can we see? That is rear left, I think. Yeah, it says rear left on there, so that's pretty good. Alright, let's do this one. This is rear right, obviously then. And then we've got our rear glass. That goes into there. Alright, pretty good. That looks pretty decent. Okay, so I think our headliner will fill up that little bit of trim that we are missing over there. So let's get this in. There we go. Headliner is in. Now we need to secure the headliner with the rear view mirror, which is somewhere over here. I did see it when I was sorting out everything. It's got to be probably underneath all of this, which is a bit of a problem if I lost it. Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to look for it real quick. As you can see, we also got some new door cards and stuff here. There it is. Okay, so it was hiding underneath all of this stuff. Now, let's just go this way around. Alright, let's get this headliner secured. Right over there. And there's a screw, and there's another one on the opposite side, which you clearly couldn't see, but I knew it was there. Okay, carpet can go in. Pretty good. Okay, and then we will start with the center consoles, which will need the screwdriver. I think or even the dashboard. I think let's do the center console first, this one. Or, you know what? I should actually do the gear stick first. Yeah, I think let's do the gear stick first of all. Okay, get that into here. I don't know if the carpet is going to be messing around or anything. Does this go in over there? Oh, come on. Alright, take the carpet out first of all. Let me just figure this thing out real quick. Alright, gear stick. How does this thing go in? Alright, just like that. Doesn't look too bad. Okay. Oh, come on. There's still a screw or a bolt up there. Okay, let's try the carpet again now. Alright, let's grab it from this side. Slide it in over there. Okay, looking pretty good now. Alright, center console. Where did I put it? I think it's this one. Okay, that can go in. And we'll just secure it like that. And that'll actually hold the carpet into place as well, which is actually what I was aiming for. Alright, handbrake lever, center console. I'll get that into here. Zip that down. Okay, back seat is probably going to go next. Alright, let's do this. Rear seat is in. Alright, come on. just reach the screw over there. There we go. All right. Okay, yeah, we still got a whole lot of stuff to do. Now, before I mount the dashboard, we're going to grab the wipers and just get this back in from here. All right, so that is in position. Okay, now we grab our wrench again. All right, so let's bolt that down over there and over there. Okay, looking pretty good so far. All right, for the rest of the firewall stuff, let's maybe do this. All right, get these pedals in. Okay, pedals in. Steering column. Yeah, this is the brand new steering column we bought. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and reinstall this right over there. All right, and this one bolt is behind the carpet, but you managed to get it quite easily. Okay, steering wheel. Brand new steering wheel. I also replaced this. And Uncle Bill didn't want an aftermarket steering wheel, so we'll just go ahead and put a brand new stock one on there for him. And now, next up, let's grab the dash. I think the dashboard should be ready to go back in. All right, we already mounted the stereo and the brand new cluster that we had to replace, which is a little bit of a bummer because, yeah, it doesn't have the true mileage. Okay, let's just zip these screws down. There's one more on the opposite side over here. Let's just get that last screw down. There we go. All right, well, making good progress, guys. We've got still a lot of stuff to do, and I see we are kind of, yeah, running quite long with this episode. I don't know how long it's going to be, if it's going to be a little bit longer, but you know what? It is what it is, guys. I really want to see if we can get this thing put together for Uncle Bill. And then the only thing that I'll really need to do is just the polish work. So let's carry on and get this thing buttoned up today. I think we'll make some good progress if we can at least get everything in this car. Alright, this needs to go on the front. That's a trim for the body. Let's see this one. Yeah, I can't remember how I took these out. I think they've also got some screws, which they do. Okay, so that is over there. And then this one, same story, most probably. Get that into here. Right. Zip it down. Okay, perfect. We also got our missing passenger seat that we missed on this car. Alright, let's get this one on here. This is our passenger side door card. Still looking pretty good. So yeah, that's the old door card. Alright, what else goes on the inside? I think it's just the passenger and the driver's seat. Which one is this? Alright, this is the driver's seat. Okay, let's go and slap this one in. Brand new driver's seat though. Alright, pop that into here. Right, and there's another bolt up there. Okay, so far so good. And the passenger seat, let's also get this into here. Alright, looking very flashy now on the inside of this thing. I think that is looking pretty decent, guys. So I think let's start with the rest of the parts we can actually get bolted down. So there's our muffler. This can go back on. Alright, not going to be a problem doing that polish work with that installed. And now we've got just a bunch of lights and some emblems. I can probably pop these on because we are going to be polishing around them. So that one goes on the hood. Although these are probably interchangeable anyway, so we'll just get this one on the trunk. That is sorted. And now let's pop the trunk, because I'm going to be installing the taillights next. So this is the old one that came off of this side, which is the passenger side. Okay, so I've got some brand new light bulbs mounted already, and so everything should work. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and let's grab this one. This one goes over on this side, and it's just one screw over there, which is a little bit strange. There's also... Okay, wait a second. Yeah, looks like they gave us all the screws this time with the new taillight. Okay, let's grab this. This is our kidney grill. Looks pretty decent. Yeah, it's got some chrome finishes on that one, so I think that's a little bit of a better look. And also to finish things off, we've got some fog lights for these bumpers. I think they just clip into place. Yeah, doesn't look like they've got any screws or anything like that, so I think these will look pretty damn good. Alright, so there's the other one in. And as I said, angel eyes. So Uncle Bill agreed to the angel eyes. So we've got a brand new angel eye headlight for the right hand side. Alright, zip this up over there. Looking pretty nifty. And let's grab this. This is our brand new one. Okay. So I already painted the eyebrows and given them a lick of clear coat as well. So they actually match the rest of the paint. So yeah, there's one more thing that goes under the hood here, which is the radiator support plastic. Let's pop this onto there, and that just finishes off the engine bay a little bit better. Looks pretty good. Alright, so the last piece of the puzzles, or the puzzle, because yeah, there's multiple things. So we need to get these trim pieces on. So this one goes onto there. Alright, and let's look for the right hand door. This one goes over there. And then we've got the one for the front right fender over there. Okay. Nice and simple. Let's start with the big one on the opposite side. Alright, put that onto there. Alright, this one goes onto this fender. Right there. And then this is the one that we actually managed to salvage off the car, which goes right over there. Alright, now let's get the trunk closed up. And then, last but not least, we are going to be mounting the wheels. Now, we don't have wheel spacers yet. So, yeah, Uncle Bill said he wanted to see what the car looks like first now with the new fenders installed before we go ahead and get some wheel spacers. But I'll also let you guys decide whether we need to slap some wheel spacers on this car as well. But yeah, it'll eventually be up to Uncle Bill to decide, because he also decided on the wheel spacers on the truck that he sold at auction. So yeah, we'll see what he says. Alright, let's get these old steelies off. Well, most of them are steelies. Some of these are yeah, I think one of them are from a Mercedes, if you ask me. Alright, yeah, I don't know. I can't tell if these wheels are a little too small and if we should rather suggest other wheels for Uncle Bill, you know. I don't know, it's up to him to decide. Because the guy who he got the car from actually sent these with the car. And I've had some people comment down below in the video that these wheels might be off of an M5 or an E46 BMW. I don't know. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just lower it down. Just grab the pipe out of the jack for some reason. Don't know. It must have been an automatic reflex there. Alright, let's do this side. Okay. And that is going to be the last two wheels we need to mount on that side. I don't know if Uncle Bill would want different wheels. I personally think these are a little too small for the car. Alright, there we go. Okay, let's get this last one onto here. Well, second last one. This is going to be the last one. Alright. Let's get this steely off. Alright, and let's grab the last wheel. So we'll probably have a look at the tires that are on the steelies and maybe take one of those for a spare tire for Uncle Bill's car. Alright, and zip everything nice and snug like that. Now, I personally think these wheels are too small for the car, so let's have a nice look at this thing once we lower it back down. Alright, go down, down, down. Alright, pretty well. That looks good. Yeah, guys, I don't know. Thoughts on the wheels? Maybe wheel spaces only? I don't know. Maybe bigger wheels? Yeah, these do look a little too small if you ask me. I don't know if wheel spaces would make them look a little bit better, but it's a little bit hard for me to decide. I mean, on my own. It's something we're going to have to check up with Uncle Bill, what he wants to do. But I think it looks pretty decent. And yeah, just the wheels. That's the only problem. I don't think the wheels work. Paint job looks great. Interior looks great. Maybe some window tint. Yeah, this interior turned out immaculate. I mean, I wouldn't mind having one of these for myself one day, you know? Who knows? We'll see, guys. But yeah, that has been quite a lot of work on this Saturday. And it's already almost 4 p.m. So I think I've got a little bit of neatening up to do. And yeah, I still got to see if I can get this old station wagon up and running. Well, it does fire up and it does kind of run. I might have to, yeah, reconsider my wheel options because it looks like this wheel is going to be rubbing over there. And maybe also a little bit on this side. So, yeah, I don't know. These wheels aren't plaster and concrete just yet. We'll see what I'm going to do with this. And it's a strange thing we are talking about wheels at the last bit of this episode. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to consider our wheel options here because yeah, I didn't really account for that rubbing over there. But alrighty, guys, I think that is going to be a wrap finally for this episode. So thank you all so much for tuning in once again. I really appreciate every view, every like. And also, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider doing so. I will appreciate it very much. And then I will see you all in the next one.